Morning, even afternoon, TimTheTatman 2. We got a banger and an exciting one for you today. Some of you may have seen, but some of you may not have seen that I had the honor and the privilege to travel to Texas and go to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know I'm a huge Cowboys fan, so this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me, and this is me kind of talking about the trip out to Dallas and what ended up happening. It was crazy. If you enjoy this, be sure to drop a like on it, share it with a friend. If you're not subscribed over here to TimTheTatman 2, hit the sub button and ring the bell. All right? Be sure to tell somebody you love them, okay? I'll catch you in the next one. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the trip. So a lot of you probably saw I was in Texas. I went to the Dallas, I don't know why I just said Texas and like had my lip curl up. I almost look like a beaver. Texas. And I went to Dallas Cowboys Stadium to go to, I was basically checking out, the area in general. Went to the preseason game against Houston. And where do I even begin? The weekend was awesome in general. I guess I'll say that first and foremost. The weekend was incredible. Being a Cowboys fan for my whole life, to be able to go to AT&T Stadium, see the stadium itself was incredible. And then on top of that, being able to meet the amazing people I did this weekend was crazy. Where do I even begin? So we got there. I got there Friday, Friday afternoon, Friday night. And I get there and we're taking a tour of basically the Dallas Cowboys training camp area sort of thing. We walked around and we got this tour of their whole establishment over there. I was doing it with, his name's Tom, and he is the CFO of the Cowboys. Absolutely incredible. Just getting to talk to him, and he kind of gave us a tour of their practice facility, and I believe it's called the Star. I believe, chat. Yeah. I don't want to be 100% wrong here, but we basically got to walk around and kind of check out the Star, and the whole area around the Star is really cool. I don't know if any of you know what I'm talking about. It's Frisco, and it's a really interesting thing how there's you have the Star, which is kind of the hub, if you will, and then there's a ton of restaurants and bars and a bunch of really cool stuff across and around the Star. So what we did was we did a tour. We got dinner at this thing called the Cowboys Club, which is apparently basically a really exclusive kind of membership only. If you've been to what's that place in LA? Soho? Is that the name of it? Soho? Anyone? It's kind of similar vibe to that, kind of an exclusive spot that you have to be a member to go to. Guys, chat, bro, listen, we had dinner there. All right, I know I'm fat. The cornbread that I had at the Cowboys Club was truly a euphoric experience for me. I've never had a cornbread like that. I don't know what they put in that cornbread. That cornbread was, I think I had 3 cornbreads straight up. I just ate 3 cornbreads. So the food was incredible, and we sat down and we're all hanging out. This is how crazy this weekend was. So a lot of you know I've played with Ezekiel Elliott, right? And Zeke randomly just texted me, and he swung by dinner, had some crab legs. It was such a as a Cowboys fan to be there and just have all this really awesome stuff dude, unbelievable. Craziest weekend of my life. So we're doing that, and we're hanging out at the Cowboys Club, and we end up, the dinner starts at 8, bro. This is one of those dinners where you're there, you're having some beers, you're drinking, having some wine, and you're up late. And we got done with dinner at 11:30, literally. Go outside. There's this little outside area with a patio. They got cigars that they make there themselves. They bring the cigars out. I'm having a cigar at the Cowboys Club on the balcony with the CFO of the Cowboys, just kind of talking to everybody about how the Cowboys have become what they are, and it was unbelievable. So crazy, right? Absolutely crazy experience. Funniest part of this whole story right? I was basically, it felt like heaven. I'm serious. Felt like heaven. Funniest part of this whole story. 12 o'clock rolls around. It's midnight. I guys, just so you understand, I'm in bed at 8 o'clock. Typically. I have a 2-year-old. I'm in bed at 8. I sleep through the night. I'm usually up around 5 or 6. 12 o'clock rolls around. They it's time for us to go from the Cowboys club. Okay. So some of the people that we were with, they go, do you guys want to keep going out? Like, we can go to this spot. And they said it's called the Concrete Cowboy. That's the name of this place. And I go, okay. I mean, sure. I mean, I'll go there. Just so you understand, when I am walking to this spot called the Concrete Cowboy, in my head, here's what I'm thinking. A sports bar, got some TVs on, and you got maybe some people playing guitar. Like maybe one guy with like a guitar or something like that. Maybe some live music, maybe some whiskey, something like that. And it was a club. So I had no idea what I was walking into. I literally, bro, I walked in and it was like, it was like I walked into a club in LA. That's what it was like. I was like, oh, okay, this is not the area I thought I was going to be in, but I'm here now. And so I had a couple drinks. I met some people there. It was fun, man. It was fun. And it was loud. And I think I was there till like 1:30. And finally, I'm like, bro, I got to go to bed. I was like, bro, it is 1:30 in the morning. I am usually in bed at 8 o'clock in the afternoon. I had to go. Some of you are saying it's a strip club. I just want to be clear. It's not a strip club. It's not. It's like a, what's that spot? Oh, dude, Poppies. You guys know Poppies in LA? It's a club. It's just a club. I don't know why you guys are saying Kappa, bro. It's not, okay? It's literally just like a club and that's it. So, but anywho, I was definitely, my expectations of the Concrete Cowboy was going to be like, oh yeah, we're just going in and, maybe there was going to be some guy like on a stage and he's kind of some live music, but it was like a boots kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. So that was fun. We did that. And then I wake up the next day and now this is Saturday. This is the preseason game. I just want you guys to know, this is where the story gets crazy, this whole thing. So we get up. I'm moving slow, obviously. And moving slow in the morning. I mean, I'm waking up at like 11 noon almost. I'm getting up and kind of moving. And we're going over to the game at about like 4 or 5 o'clock. We're going there early and we're going to kind of get a cool like experience of the stadium. So we go over to AT&T Stadium and we get to go through this VIP entrance, which was really cool. I'm like, and you guys got to remember, just for a little background story here, I've been a Cowboys fan since the 90s, right? I was born in 90. My dad raised me a Cowboys fan, and this was my very first time ever being to AT&T Stadium. So like, the amount of excitement that I was like, fanboying is like an understatement. I was like really trying to, I was doing my best to be like calm, cool, and collected and really try to like take everything in. But it was really hard for me to not like freak out. So we get to AT&T Stadium and dude, the stadium for one, I just want to say is beautiful. Like it is huge. And we get to AT&T Stadium and, and we get to go to this spot, which is basically kind of like, it's, I think it's called the Owners Club or something like that. And my understanding is basically you have owners of suites and those people can have access to this one spot that's incredible. It's really hard to explain. I've never seen anything like it. But basically it's like a spot where all of the suite owners kind of can correlate, that's not the word, but, anywho, it's basically like you go to this one spot, they have like food and live music. It was really cool. So we go to this like owner's lounge, if you will, maybe it's called. Lounge is probably a better word for it. And they have food out. They had mac and cheese. Obviously, guys, I just want to be clear. The diet this weekend, out the window. I was eating like it was my last time on earth, just to be clear. And but anywho, it was, homie, this mac and cheese was unbelievable. So let me get to the point. So we're in a suite and we're hanging out and I walk into the suite and I see this. And I go, well, I have to take a picture with Cowboys Super Bowl rings. I'm not going to not do this. So I walk into this suite and they had these out, and it was literally the Super Bowl rings. Now, to be clear, I didn't ask if they were legit. I don't know if they would actually let someone wear 5 real Super Bowl rings. One thing I will say is they felt heavy AF, and I was very careful with them. I was just trying to be, Tim, what ancient artifacts, right? Right. Thanks, guys. Tom Brady has more than the whole franchise. Okay, dude. So anywho, so these are the Cowboys Super Bowl rings. I was like, I got to get a picture with these. So I put them on and I'm like wearing them. And that was such a cool experience, and like being able to like see those like in front of me. It was awesome. And so I go in there. This is kind of after like we're at the lounge, and I take that photo and we're hanging out. And then I kind of look like Thanos a little bit, right? A little. Reality is often disappointing. But so it was really cool to like even see them and like take a picture with them. I know the rings are not older than me. I was born in 90. Okay. Thank you. Tim, that was Bane. You guys get the point I'm making, and you really don't have to point out every like imperfection I ever do. So let's just move on still. So then this gets crazier, this story. So then we're there and we're at our suite that we're going to be in. And basically they go, okay, do you want to meet Jerry Jones? It was guys, there's no way you're saying who, right? No way. Jerry Jones is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. So they go, do you want to meet Jerry Jones and also his son, Stephen Jones, who are both very large parts of the Cowboys franchise? And I go, so like I almost pass out, and I go, yes, I do. I would like to meet them. And they bring us in to Jerry Jones' suite at AT&T Stadium. Now, I want you guys to understand something. I have been to stadiums and I have seen suites in my life. This suite was hands down the most immaculate football suite I have ever seen in my life. It was, dude, it was like when you think about anything you could want in a suite, it was like, it was the sweetest suite. There it is. Yeah. So we walk in, there's literally like an entry walk in, like, what's the word I'm looking for? He had like a statue, like some flowers and shit when you first walk in, and it was immaculate. So I go around the corner and then I see Jerry and Steven, and I immediately I'm like, all right, Tim, we're not. Now, a lot of you have heard how I met Conor McGregor, and the only thing that came out of my mouth was name's Tim, big fan. Only thing I've ever, that was literally the only sentence that could come out of my mouth when I saw Conor. So I was like, okay, like I was a little more prepared for it this time. And I was like, okay. So I walk up and I go, name's Tim, big fan. I'm just kidding. So I walk up, I shake his hand, and I say, I basically said, thank you so much for taking time to like meet me. And Alexis was there, my wife. And, we kind of do the formal thing. And I got to be honest, when I was meeting Jerry, I was very nervous because I just didn't know, like, what do I say, right? Jerry Jones is one of the most accomplished, like, football owners in the NFL, if not the most, I would say. And I mean, like, this guy, like, he's so well established. Like, what am I going to say to this guy? You know what I mean? What am I going to say? I don't know why you guys are saying cap at all. You guys are actually, dude, I know I'm a Cowboys fan, but you have to understand. Are you guys serious? Oh, dude. Okay, Chad. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Now you guys are just pissing me off. So anywho, so I walk in and I'm basically like, I don't know exactly how I'm going to approach this or what I'm going to say to Jerry, but I hope that I just don't like pass out, and I hope I don't sound like an idiot. That was kind of the thought I had. And so we walk into his suite and we start talking. And I got to be honest, he was and Steven, his son, were so easy to talk to. Jerry and Steven both. They were, it felt like I had talked to him before for like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like talking to him. I literally started talking to him just about how I was a Cowboys fan for so long and how, my dad raised me as a Cowboys fan. And, that's why I'm a Cowboys fan today. And he talked to us and kind of talked to us about what it was like for him, like in the 80s when he bought the Cowboys and like what it kind of looked like. And I was trying to be like a sponge. I really was. I was doing like my best to be like a sponge and just take everything in that I could hear from him and just like really listen. And we talked, I'm not exaggerating here. We talked for about 30 to 45 minutes. This wasn't just a quick, yo, what's up? Thanks for saying, hey, see you later. Like he literally, like we sat down, he got me a drink. He was like, do you want a drink or anything? And he got me a beer. And it was like, we talked for like 30 to 45 minutes and it felt like such an organic and natural conversation. It was great. And then finally obviously he's got obligations, but he has to go somewhere. Someone comes in and basically goes, Jerry, we need you to go somewhere to do something. And he goes, okay, do any of you guys want any pictures? Like Jerry offered photos with us. And I was like, yeah. So this is a photo of me and Jerry. And I just want you guys to know, he took like, I'm not kidding, probably 15 to 20 pictures with everyone that I was with as well. And like took the time, even though people were saying he had to go, he was like, okay, let's just do he was like, let's take photos with everyone first, kind of thing. So super nice guy, man. Him and Steven both were unbelievably easy to talk to. And this is a great picture. I thought it came out great, but I was very blown away by just how down to earth he was, to be honest. So this is from his suite. This is like the bottom level of his suite, and you can kind of see it's like right on the 50 kind of thing. And it was a really, really incredible experience to be able to, to just sit and talk to him for, like I said, about 30 to 45 minutes. Now, the funniest part is that after I meet him, I'm like on cloud nine, obviously, and the game hasn't even started yet, literally. And then Tom, who's the CFO of the Cowboys, goes, Tim, do you want to be interviewed at halftime? And at this point, dude, I'm like, right? I'm like, dude, you guys are gonna make me pass out, like literally, like I'm like, when I think like everything's kind of done, like, okay, I met Jerry, I talked to him and Steven for a while, and it went really well. Tom comes in and goes, do you want to be interviewed at halftime? And I was like, I had a couple beers at that point. I was like, okay, well, I better stop drinking if I'm going to be on like national television. And so they interview me at halftime. This I don't know why this is the photo I got, but he interviewed me at halftime. It looks like I have no teeth. I don't know what. I don't know how this was kind of the snapshot that this guy got, but I did like this little halftime interview where I was talking to this guy and he was just kind of asking about how I was a Cowboys fan and what my experience was and how it was my first time at AT&T Stadium and like what I thought about it. And it was incredible. And I was extremely nervous, but I think despite how nervous I was, I think it went pretty well as far as that whole thing goes. But then after that, that was kind of like the last huge, like, whoa, that was crazy kind of thing. And we watched from the suite, and it was just such an amazing experience to obviously, for one, be a Cowboys fan, right? And be able to have all of this incredible, I guess I would use the word just like opportunities at AT&T Stadium. And then on top of that, be able to meet so many amazing people like Jerry and Steven. And not only that, but to have them be so down to earth and so welcoming as well. It was just such an amazing trip. And like, those guys didn't have to talk to me for like 45 minutes at all, right? They didn't have to, but they did. And they were really interested in what I did. They were curious about, they were asking me about like, me streaming and like what that was like. And like, they were genuinely like curious about what I did as well. It was kind of crazy. And, it was crazy. The whole experience was great. Unfortunately, the Cowboys lost. It's just preseason, right? So it's just preseason, and it's really not that much to worry about, I don't think. Guys, regular season. This year looks pretty good for us. Regular season, man. Obviously we don't got Dak or Zeke in, so it's just preseason, and I am excited to. I am going back, so I'm going to go back to AT&T Stadium for the Eagles Cowboys game, which is a Monday Night Football game, because that was my first time at AT&T Stadium. But I really want to see what the experience is like in a actual regular season game versus a preseason one. And on top of that, it's against the Eagles, and if you watch football, Cowboys and Eagles always have a great game, and so that's why I'm really excited to go back and to see the actual game. I think it's week 3 or something like that. But the whole trip, unbelievable, unbelievable experience. So blessed and grateful for the opportunities that I had to be able to meet so many amazing people. And on top of that, I met some of you, some of you guys. I took some pictures at like the stadium and at whenever I was out. So meeting a lot of you out there that are in Texas and also Cowboys fans was really cool too. So thank you all for how kind you all were too, if I met you, because everyone was great. So but it was a crazy, to sum it up, absolutely incredible weekend. Very excited to go back for the Eagles game, and yeah, just amazing experience. I'm not going to be on Hard Knocks, just so you guys know, but I did see the recording crew. I did. And I saw I saw them walking around. That was kind of a cool experience too. I will say that, but American football is trash. I understand if you like football and you like, soccer and that whole thing, but I mean, you can't deny that American football is a great sport. I mean, it's the best sport to watch. It's unbelievable. You kidding me?